viewers, we ask, when did being Gen Z become a free pass for defiance, for breaking the rules? Look at this video from a Kargil checkpoint. A woman arguing with security personnel invokes her generation. We are Gen Z. We will not tolerate this nonsense. And what was this nonsense? What is it that she was referring to? Times Now has learned that it was a checkpost set up by the Ladakh police to stop the traffic movement when an army convoy came and sought permission to pass. That is when this incident happened, where the woman said, "You can't do this to tourists." While the incident is said to be more than 3 weeks old, today Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah responded to it rather sharply. He said that "We are Gen Z" is now becoming the new "Jante nahi mera baap kaun hai" syndrome, which is the syndrome of entitlement. Now, viewers, Gen Z has earned enormous goodwill by questioning conventions, demanding accountability, and refusing to be intimidated. All great traits. Victory. Thumbs up for that. But this kind of rebellion without a cause is nothing but entitlement couched in a trending tag. So the question is simple. Is everything now fair in the name of Gen Z?
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Pradeep Bhandari, Abhijit Tayyar Mitra, Tehseen Poonawala are joined by Vivek Srivastava, political analyst, and Azka Khan, student activist. Vivek Srivastava, to you first. हम Gen Z हैं, तो हम कुछ भी करेंगे. To me, not allowing an army convoy to pass through, whatever the reason may be, not allowing an army convoy to pass through, especially in an area that is in Kashmir, to my mind is a spoiled brat syndrome. I don't think Gen Z empowerment actually gives anybody the license to create a public furor of this kind and a public impediment of this kind for free movement of army. Do you think this should also be allowed in the name of Gen Z? Should we just, suspend the constitution and allow people to do what they want?
Nobody's asked you to suspend the constitution. I endorse every word of what that girl was saying. आप कश्मीर गए, आपने बोला कश्मीर नॉर्मल है, आइए be a tourist over here. She reaches over there are small kids that are sitting in the car, and all of a sudden you say आपको रोका जाएगा और आप यहाँ पे रुकिए 1 घंटा 2 घंटा 5 घंटा, nobody knows. And she's a youngster and she dared to question the system. Either you declare that the tourists should not come to Kashmir, we are still not normal. My home minister in 2019 said 370 एब्रोगेट हो गया, 3 महीने के अंदर कश्मीर नॉर्मल है. अभी भी वहां पे एक तरीके से अगर फौज ही सब चलाएगी और रिस्ट्रिक्शंस है, उसने क्या कहा? उसने कहा कश्मीरियों के साथ तो आप करते ही थे, अब हम आ गए हैं बाहर से, नॉर्मल सिटीजंस फ्रॉम अदर स्टेट्स, आप हमारे साथ भी कर रहे हैं. आप क्या गलत?
Vivek Srivastava, how dare you say something like this? The army has laid down their lives to protect Kashmir and other parts of the country. While you are sitting here giving gyan to the nation, they are the ones standing in Kargil, they are the ones standing in Siachen, they are the ones protecting the borders of the country, from every side of the border, from Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. And you have the audacity to say कि ये army सब कुछ कर रही है, and the girl can say, and she can also say, I will take this matter to the parliament. Everybody should take their matters to the parliament. If your street is dirty, go to the parliament. If there is a traffic jam, go to the parliament. Everybody should go. Parliament में ही सब कुछ solve होना चाहिए, and सड़कों पे solve होना चाहिए. Law and order की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, आर्मी की कोई जरूरत नहीं. Is that where we are taking this kind of behavior to, Pradeep Bhandari?
Navika ji, the justification of Vivek Srivastava reflects why when 76 of our CRPF jawans had lost their life in 2010, men and individuals of Vivek Srivastava's ideology in JNU were celebrating it, and this is exactly what the Dimagi Naxal ecosystem, intellectual ecosystem the Prime Minister spoke about. But I'll come to the fundamental point. The army had closed that for the safety and security of the citizens. It had not done so for some personal work, and it has not done so permanently. Let's extend this further. Today they have a problem with army. Tomorrow they will say कि train station से जा रही है, barricade लगा है crossing के लिए, हम नहीं जाने देंगे, हम पहले जाएंगे, train बाद में जाएगी. Let's say tomorrow third time they will say कि flight जो है वो जिस समय उतरी, नहीं हम late हो गए, flight को रोको, flight जो समय पे नहीं आएगी, हम उस समय आएंगे. Where are we extending this argument of law of the jungle? We are living by the Constitution of India, and under Constitution of India, when it requires, whether it is army, whether it is security forces, or whether it is the police forces, they can apply certain prohibitory orders in any part of the country. It is for the benefit of the citizens.
We are not an army state.
Well, have a glass of water, Pradeep. But Aska Khan,
it is following the rule book. Tomorrow the policemen.
Absolutely. If there is a barricade required and a barricade has been put for a reason, there must be a reason, my friend. And we all need to be reasonable people. We can't just win. And yes, the education protests were something that were waiting to happen. The issues were absolutely fine. Even for tourists, inconveniencing them is actually, does create problems for them. But that doesn't mean, Azka Khan, that we stand in the middle of the road and we start holding people to ransom, that we will not allow the army convoy to pass. After all, individuals can express, but they can't provoke and they can't create a scene where the army cannot operate. Is that Gen Z entitlement, or is that just spoiled brat behavior?
Well, Miss Navika, what I quite feel is that there is no alternative which she could discover. How will she resort to it? This was a movement. When we talk about Gen Z, by the way, the Gen Z word which has come into a high prominent, which has become very prominent, it's basically a generation tag which has given to the ones who are very robust, who are very vigilant, and who are very rational and can say, what was the problem? She was a tourist, not from Jammu and Kashmir region. She was a tourist. There she got frustrated, and that is how she has resort to. That's the only case. The problem here
I understand the frustration, but not allowing the army convoy to pass, is that justified? Because I'm frustrated. I'm also very frustrated about the civic infrastructure around my house. Should I start beating up people? Should I start doing dharnas on the roads? Abhijit, is this what we are going to do now? Become anarchists?
Look, let's be very clear why those protocols are in place. If you remember what happened at the Pulwama bombing, it was precisely because cars were allowed to go side by side with the army convoy. Okay. Now, ever since then, this kind of civilian movement alongside large, big army convoys has been banned. Now, this particular lady, I don't know whoever she is, she certainly doesn't look Gen Z, but look, anybody can claim they're Gen Z. Even I can claim I'm Gen Z. If you can self-identify your gender, you can definitely self-identify your generation as well. But we need to understand this is the chronic nature of the problem in this country, where people don't know why rules exist and they decide that they are going to throw a tantrum and get away with it. This lady should have been charged and she should have been arrested then and there because she is actively interfering with a security operation. Let us be very clear about it. What I am criticizing the government for isn't that the things are stopped, but when people like this actively interfere with a security movement, with army movement, there is no if, there is no but, there is no leniency in the law. It's a one-way ticket to the locker. Why is this lady roaming free? She needs to be in jail.
That's the
even now after this.
That is the point, and I completely 100%, 200% agree with Omar Abdullah, who tweeted this, and this this video has been highlighted because he commented on it, Tehseen Poonawala, saying that, we've lived with this. Everybody is known to a VIP. मैं इस मंत्री को जानता हूं, मैं उस संतरी को जानता हूं, मेरा बाप कौन है, मेरा बाप कौन है. We've seen this VIP racism in this country. Now, there are ordinary people using the word Gen Z almost as if it's a passport to doing whatever you feel like doing. Do you think that is justified? I understand the frustration. I understand, long waits when some things like this happen. But frustration, does it really amount to entitlement?
Navika, there are two aspects at it, but first to the student activists, Gen Z isn't an attitude. It's somebody born between the years 97 to 2012. It's not an attitude. And Abhijit, you identify Gen Alpha. The question that I want to make is very, very clear. I think Abhijit is saying something. May I just make my point? There are 2 points out here. Number one, look, we completely get what happened in Pulwama, and therefore these protocols are more in place, which weren't followed, and nobody's paid the price in the government for Pulwama protocols not being followed. Nobody's been suspended or kicked out where we lost our brave heart. So we understand this. But when you have this and the army blocking it, there are 2 very problematic aspects. No, the army can't block anywhere without a civilian government anywhere in the country, as the BJP spokesperson said. That's not how the law works. It's the police who is supposed to do that and block it. Now you must have communication. From what I know, while I don't approve of this behavior, what I know is they were there for 5 hours. If people are on the road for 5 hours, there must be a communication by the civilian government, by the civilian police force, by all of them, talking to the people. There must be arrangements made. What if at some point there was a pregnant woman, somebody fell sick, somebody was unwell? So in these cases, again, there has to be communication. It's not the army wants to go. They will ask the police.
But Pradeep Bhandari, this was a police checkpoint. This was a sensitive zone. And, Gen Z, if God forbid, somebody had just broken and gone through and there was an incident, the same people who were frustrated because of the wait would have said that the system has failed. Right now, they are cursing the system for putting the checkpoint. Then they would have said the system has failed us. Easy peasy for them.
Well, Navika ji, the essence here is, first of all, at the outset, Tehseen, it's the same government which did Balakot, so we do not need lectures from the Congress party, which has never attacked Pakistan after a terror attack, but I'll come to the moot point. The lady there says, what nonsense is this? Is she calling the army trying to protect her area and try an army convoy passing from an area as nonsense? Point number 1. Point number 2, please note, tomorrow, let's say an individual has a fight with his or her girlfriend and tomorrow walks on the road and say, I am Gen Z, I am frustrated, so you allow me to walk from any barricade which is there, put by the police in, let's say, in Delhi, Mumbai or any other place. Where are we extending this argument? The lady has committed a criminal act because as per the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, if you obstruct a government servant from doing a duty, you are punishable as per offence. So what the lady has done is a criminal
Abhijit, and she also said, army men are paid from our taxes, so we can do whatever we want. Well, they also pay taxes. Is this even justified to utter?
On average, they pay a much higher tax, and especially given that they risk their life. Now, this lady, she's not risking anything to her life, number 1. Number 2, we need to remember this is a state that is still under AFSPA, where police take orders from the army on what to shut down and what not to shut down. Number 3, Tehseen is right. Should there have been communication? Yes. However, we need to remember, if anybody has seen army convoys in Kashmir, the average wait time on normal roads. In fact, I came across an army convoy when I tried to visit the house of the Pulwama bomber, suicide bomber. Me and Aarti Tikku had gone there a month after the abrogation of 370. The army convoy passing alone lasted about an hour. And the road has to be shut down about 45 minutes to an hour before, and it needs to be kept free for 45 minutes to an hour after that.
And so those decisions are for the army to take, not for civilians. But my objection is to one limited point. Inconvenience, yes. Frustration, I understand. Small children held up there, I do understand. However, Gen Z cannot be a label that you use as a passport to bad behavior and to breaking security norms. No. This is not meant for breaking law and order. That's the limited point that I want to make tonight. Yes, there are many things that are broken in the system. There are many things that need fixing and accountability. But is this the way to go about it? Not at all. That's where I stand. Where do you stand? Do write into us. Thank you very much to all my panelists, and thank you viewers for joining me on the News Hour. Good night, be safe. I'll be back tomorrow on the same show, same time.